Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this beautiful, stunning floral arrangement for autumn or fall. We're going to be using some nice burnt oranges, some different textures and foliage, and we're going to be popping it all in this metal jug. Okay, so what we need for today's video is a jug or a nice pretty vase of your choice that you would like to pop your flower arrangement in. A pair of good scissors, so I always use these Oasis floristry scissors, as you can see on many of my videos. And the flowers we're going to be using today are these beautiful, and I've got 3 different colours here that you can see, Alstroemeria, and I've got a few stems of each colour. I've also got these beautiful burnt orange roses, these gorgeous Dahlias, which I absolutely love. I grow these in my garden as well, but these are from my supplier, and I just love all the folds and different colours in there. So again, we've gone for like a burnt orange rust colour. We also have some Hypericum berries, which I love, and I use these a lot at Christmas, but I do like them this time of year. You know, we're, I think, the 6th of September now, so autumn is on its way, or fall. And I do love all these oranges and reds and cream colours. And then finally we have these little chrysanthemums, these little mini ones, and you can see here they're darker in the middles and lighter on the outside, so I do like these as well. We also have some foliage, and I wish I picked more now, because I did go foraging for this. And as you can see, these ones are on the turn, so although they're still green, you can see the red very slightly coming through. And this one here I have actually sprayed, so I've sprayed it a nice rust colour, and you can just see where it's fading at the end, so this would be really pretty in there as well. And then I have these, and I'm not actually sure what these are called, but they're obviously dried. They're obviously past their best, but I thought it might just give us a little bit of oh, one popped off. I think it'd give us a nice added texture in there, and I just like the burnt kind of brown burgundy colour that it gave us. So let's put our arrangement together. So I filled up my jug first of all with some water and some flower food. So for flower food you can buy sachets of it from Amazon, or a local florist will probably sell you them. But I do tend to get mine in bulk, so yeah, it's just a small sachet and you just put the whole thing in and add your water. So I think we're going to start with our Alstroemerias, and I'm just going to cut them down. So I'll just see how high I want my arrangement. I don't want it too tall out of my jug, but I think I'm going to go for this kind of length. So again, I'm just going to cut them a similar size. So before I started this video, I did prep my flowers. So what I've done on many of them is I've taken all the additional leaves off the stems. And the reason I do this is because if you have a vase full of flowers and you leave your leaves on and they're submerged in the water, they do tend to go manky and they start to smell, and you get that slime, and you're having to change your water more often, and it's not very pleasant for the flowers. So I tend to remove all the leaves that I don't want, and the same on the roses. On this one I've left one, on I think one of them I've stripped all the leaves, and I also defawn them, so I take the fawns off as well. And the same as the chrysanthemums, I've taken all the leaves down from here, because could you imagine having all of this from here all down to there in water? It'd just be awful within a few days. The smell as well, it's not a very pleasant smell. So enough of that, I'm just going to continue to cut these to a similar length, like so. They don't have to be perfect, they really don't. I haven't got my bin with me, so I'm just snipping them on my table. Not very prepared today, I'm afraid. I'm just going to get these to the same length. And again, I could have done this in advance, but I've just shown you how I kind of do it. And you can change the length of these once you start arranging them. So I'm going to pop these in first, in no particular order, but I'm going to kind of face them in opposite directions. So I'm crossing them over once I put them in my jug. I'm kind of popping that one in that way, and that one in that way. So I'm putting the end of the stem in the opposite direction to where I want my flowers to go. And this also just helps the flowers support each other when they're in there. You can use this crossover kind of style, I suppose. I'm just going to do it like that. And I want my flowers to kind of fall naturally, like so, and just separate themselves out like that. So I'm first of all going to put 2 white, 2 yellow, and 2 of this lovely kind of reddy colour, like that. Okay, and again you can move these around as and when you feel you need to. So now I'm going to go for my chrysanthemums. I'm just going to pop again in here and cross over like that. And now I've got more flowers in there. These are starting to be able to stand upright a bit more. I'm just going to trim that one down slightly. And they're just starting to stand up a little bit more on their own, which is nice. I'm going to trim that one as well. So again, it depends how you want this arrangement to look. You can have, if you don't have as many flowers, you can have everything kind of at the front if you're popping it against a wall, which I will be, but I will be popping it out as well, because I do tend to move them around, especially if I have someone over for dinner, or I decide to move it into a coffee table if I make another arrangement. So we've now got those. I'm now going to go for my roses. So again, you can stand the flowers on the table. Because your vase or jug is flat on the table, you'll see how high it comes from the vase, which is quite handy. So I'm just going to cut them all the same. I've already cut them and treated them earlier. So whenever you buy flowers, whether it's from a supermarket or a local market or like a florist supplier, always trim the bottoms of your stems, preferably at an angle, as you can just see there slightly, and then give them fresh water with flower food. And this, by trimming the stems, will just enable them to be able to drink. You know, the stems won't be dry. Sometimes during transportation the ends can dry out, so to give them a trim just opens them up and it allows them to absorb more water. I also then remove these guard petals. Again, I would normally do this before, but I think it's nice to show you. And this won't damage the rose at all. And they do come off quite easily. And that's these petals here. And they're normally quite greeny, and they're a little bit crispy sometimes, a little bit brown and curled up. And yeah, they're just to protect the rose. You can remove those once you put them into an arrangement or a bouquet or whatever you're using the roses for. You don't have to. Some people like the rustic look and leave them on. But for this arrangement I will be removing them. Okay, so I'm just going to put my roses. I've only got 3, unfortunately, in here. And when you're buying roses, another good tip is always just give them a very small, slight squeeze here. And if they're in good condition or got a long kind of life, as opposed to shelf life ahead of them, then they'll be quite firm. But in the supermarkets or shops, if you feel them and they're very soft and they're like collapsing, then they're kind of on their way out, so try and avoid those ones. Okay, so that's those. Put some more chrysanthemums on the back as well. Like this. Okay, so I haven't planned the shape of this, and it's kind of, I don't know, I see a pattern here. So we've got the yellow, the white, the red, the yellow, and we've got our 3 roses and then our 3 chrysanthemums. So it's starting to look really, really nice and fresh. So I'm now going to add my dahlias. Just going to pop a dahlia in here. I do absolutely love these. They're just so pretty. I wish we'd use them more in wedding flowers. They are gorgeous and I love them. Pop that one around there. Can have a taller one. I like to leave the buds on these ones and the leaves. Pop that one in here like so. Like that. And then put one around the back as well. some of my foliage in as well. So, and my autumn colours. Like that. Use some reds down here. And then I'm going to go for some of my berries. So as you can see, it doesn't take long to put a really nice arrangement together, just to have that beautiful autumn colours into your living area. Go a bit higher. So these ones are going to come slightly bit shorter, just to give some edge either side of the jug. Okay, so once you have all your flowers, you need to have a look around your bouquet and adjust them to the heights you want. So you can see here, I've just cut this one down, and I did come round just a moment ago, I didn't film that bit, to make these bits, these front ones a bit lower, just to give it the shape as it builds up, because you want to stagger your flowers so you can see everything. You don't want everything the same height and everything in one big bunch together with everything merged on top and then nothing below. So again, it's personal choice how low down your flowers come. You might want a nice higher one, you might want a more lower compact one. So I've just trimmed some of these just to make them shorter, just so they sit at the base of the arrangement. And I've moved around some of my foliage and I've staggered a couple of my dahlias just to get it perfectly placed. And with that crossover of the stems, it's quite easy to manipulate the shape of your arrangement without it collapsing again. So the crossover technique is very good. Or you can use a mesh if you've got a larger bowl, or tape if you want squares. But the trouble is, in such a small neck on this jug, if I put mesh in there or tape, it doesn't give me many holes to put my stems, which is why I use the crossover method, and I don't know why I'm doing that. Looks like I'm raving. Right, so I'm happy with that. I'm now going to go for these little funny things. I can't really trim lots of them off because I need the height and the depth on the stem, and there's only one stem. So I think what I'm going to do is pop this larger piece around here. So I just want to see where it comes. It's a little bit like a fascinator, and it just sat on top with these little spiky bits. Okay, I think I want that one there. My bouquet is going to be facing this way, and the wall is going to be this side. So although I want it all round because people come from all directions from the counter I'm popping it on, I just want it to look really good from the front. So I've put those there, and I think I'm just going to put this one, oh, if I missed the jug. Okay, so I'm just going to pop her in there. I'm not going to push all the way down because I like to give her some height, because these are tall. I've kind of staggered them because I only got two of them. I'm going to leave that one up here like so, and then this one just there, and I think that's enough just to give it a little bit of interest and a little bit of texture. I'm really pleased with how my arrangements turned out today, and I hope you've enjoyed my video. If you have, please subscribe as it really helps my channel, and hit that like button. You'll also be notified of all my up and coming content, and we have Christmas coming up, so please subscribe and don't miss a thing. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye.